deal. I mean, Brexit was about two things. The first thing was about the NHS. There was a load of lies put out that £365 million extra a week would go back into the NHS if we left. That's the first thing, which is a total lie. And the second thing was it was all the fault of immigrants. I find that bizarre because when I was a Member of Parliament, if I went down to the Labour Exchange, which I did quite often to have meetings and so on, the people who were in there who weren't working were the locals. They weren't. I didn't see any immigrants there at all. And whenever I did see immigrants, which I saw a lot, they were working socks off, really. Whether it was restaurants, the NHS. I have meetings with the NHS all the time. They're all Indian doctors. They're all Eastern European doctors. Our cities, which are full of life and culture, they seem to think there's a bad thing. And yet they go out and buy their kebabs. They buy their fish and chips. They go and support the music. They go on holiday to France and Spain and the United States. And they do all of that. And yet at home they think everybody's fault who's from abroad, which is bizarre when you think of that 90% of the population are. There's no logic. It's about the creation of blame. The blame was on a group of people who were to blame for individual selfishness. It's not helped by the way things are reported and developed, because the easy way for any newspaper or news station or anything else to do it is just to report the negative all the time, because bad news sells papers. Well, I'm very worried, because I actually believe that Brexit is going to be terrible. I mean, really profoundly terrible. I think we're heading for another financial crisis because of it. Well, there are good signs for a change in approach, as well as a few bad ones, which I've mentioned. There's some good signs. The movement towards a more equal approach in our society is there for all to see. The arguments are being put forward now to put right gender balance, to put right the economics of gender is really on the march. We're also looking to the future to new industries, robotics, health and welfare, and also a new approach towards our own personal economics. How many hours we work a day, how many working weeks, months, years. We're moving in a particular direction which seems to get people thinking that there is an opportunity. New technology will not just make cars cheaper or more efficient or whatever it might be. It might give people another opportunity to find work elsewhere. And that means new industries, particularly the service industry, looking after people, working in the community, having new jobs and opportunities. Now, those are all there. Education being the primary one. And I've, for many years, advocated that the period of time that children are spent in education should be longer, not shorter. They should start earlier and finish later. They shouldn't leave school before they're 18, and they should start school almost as soon as they're able to do it in one form or another. So the great opportunity in the new industries is there, but we're only just tiptoeing at the very perimeter at the moment. We've got to be a bit more daring in that. But I think with the opportunity for employment to diminish in the traditional industry, that will give the argument for increased approach and investment to do that.